Welcome back to another 100 horror movie review from the pop chart list. This week we are going over The Bride of Frankenstein. This is one that I have not seen before, but before we get into the review, there's going to be a special announcement at the end of this video, which the Patreon subscribers already know of, so they already know what the good news is, but now I get to share it with you guys, and I'm really excited about it. While we're at it, I also want to say thank you very much to all the Patreon subscribers whose names are going to pop up at the end of this video like they always do, because they're the coolest people ever. So let's get into this review so I can get into the big announcement. 1935 is the year that Bride of Frankenstein, not The Bride of Frankenstein like the poster indicates, just Bride of Frankenstein, was released as an American sci-fi horror film. Directed by James Whale, who was also the director of the original Frankenstein, and starring Boris Karloff, again as Frankenstein's monster. This movie got a great critical and popular response right off the bat, and is viewed by a lot of people still today as the greatest sequel ever made. That is a pretty big statement. Now, with that being said, I have to agree, I really enjoyed this movie. I liked the character development of especially the monster, which if you guys watched my review on the original Frankenstein, I felt he was done really, really wrong in that movie. So it's good to see that they came back and gave him a little bit more credit and actually kind of just developed who he was in general. Because of all of the Universal monsters, he really isn't. He's just a misunderstood and very poorly treated creature. Now, to be fair, he has made a few mistakes here and there, but who of us haven't, right? This movie started off in a way that I wasn't expecting and really threw me off and made me kind of reconsider what I was watching and what the first movie was. And if you haven't seen it, I'll explain it now. The movie starts on a dark and stormy night where Percy Shelley, Lord Byron, and Mary Shelley are having a conversation about Mary Shelley's book that she wrote, Frankenstein. I don't know if they were going for super meta in this situation, but this scene now changes Frankenstein from a movie about a thing that happened like in its own universe to making it in this universe as a book, and kind of just exploded my brain for a minute. So depending on how you view that or the value that you put into that scene kind of changes the rest of the story and the backstory of it, or you can choose to just ignore it. Bride of Frankenstein picks up at the end of Frankenstein with the burning windmill. So in this scene, we see that the monster had made it to like an underground cave or cavern, getting away from the fire and managing to survive, while Henry Frankenstein is brought back home, nursed back to health, and then renounces his work to end his creation, which is kind of a terrible way to handle that situation. Accept responsibility for what you did and own it. He is then visited by an old mentor, Dr., and I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess this up, so please forgive me, Septimus Praetorius. Dr. Praetorius wants to set up a meeting with Dr. Frankenstein to go over a similar experiment that he has been working on, to which Frankenstein is almost immediately against, but he does manage to convince him to have a meeting. I have to admit, when I saw the doctor come out with this case, I 100% thought he had a child version of Frankenstein in this case, which would have been weird, but is not nearly as weird as what he does have in the case. Dr. Praetorius has grown or cultivated a series of mini people. I, in all of my years of life, have never heard that detail of Bride of Frankenstein. So after I picked my jaw up off of the floor, I was able to pay better attention to what the doctor was proposing to Frankenstein. That, of course, is that he wants to make a mate for the monster. Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, Frankenstein's creation, not monster, creation, is roaming the countryside, where he comes across a blind hermit. On account of he doesn't know what Frankenstein looks like, he isn't frightened by his initial appearance, and they become friends. And this hermit even teaches Frankie how to speak. After an unfortunate interaction with a couple of hunters, Frankie continues his journey, and as fate would have it, runs into Dr. Pretorius. Pretorius tells him the plan of creating a mate for the monster so that he's not alone. And as somebody who is failing on all of the dating sites, I have to admit, if somebody told me that their plan was to create the perfect mate for me, I probably wouldn't care if she was made from the dead. I'm just going to be honest here. Frankie helps the doctor put a plan in action that will make this happen. However, when his bride is brought to life, she takes one look at him and screams in repulsion. And I don't think I have ever related to a character in a movie more than I did then. So again, I feel like Frankenstein's creature got the short end of the stick, and it makes me feel for him so much more. Like this poor dude just cannot catch a break. Which I was gonna save it until after the scratching, but I can't wait any longer. I have to share it with you now. Thanks to Natalie Jane, who is the artistic hand behind the Invisible Duck stickers, which are available through me or through my Spreadshirt account, where you can get stickers and shirts as well. We have a new addition to the family. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Quackenstein's creature. This guy makes me so happy. I cannot wait to get stickers made and a shirt. And as soon as I can afford it, we're going to be going for the enamel pins, which I just received word from the pin company. The Invisible Duck pins were just sent out in the mail, so I should have them soon, and I can't wait. Thank you very much, Natalie Jane. You did an amazing job again. I really love her work. Go check out her Instagram and Facebook. I'll add links down below. And just show her some love, because she's doing a great job and definitely helping me out a lot with this stuff. Now, with all of that said and the big news revealed, let's get to the scratching of the Bride of Frankenstein. So I can only imagine behind the wrapped up version of Bride of Frankenstein, who looks very much like the mummy here, is going to be the black and white haired version of her. Let's check it out and see if I'm right. Also, another shameless promotion of merch you can pick up for me as well. The Lucky Duck Entertainment hat and glasses logo. And that's created by Captain Visual, who is not only an amazing artist, an amazing clown, an amazing balloon artist, he is now a flea circus ringleader, and I am super jealous. All right, let's check this out here. Yeah, that's kind of a given. I'm still taking it as a win, though. Oh, she looks awesome. So that is the scratched off Bride of Frankenstein. Next week, we're going to be doing the Wolfman, which I'm super excited about too. So make sure you're back here next week for the Wolfman review. I want to say thank you to everybody that stopped by and watched this video. Hopefully you commented below and hit those like and subscribe buttons. Very big special thank you to the Patreon subscribers whose names are going to pop up in just a second. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to show some support and at least check out the Patreon, I'll add the link down there below as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. I love you all. I will catch you next Thursday. Later days.